Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome to my Skull and Bones kind of review. This one took longer than I expected it to take, and I kind of put more effort into it than some other things I would have liked to have done. And so hopefully it turns out well. Hopefully you guys like it. Sorry for the delay on it and all my other videos. This one took longer than I expected. I did not expect this to take as long. I also wasn't working on it 24/7 as I probably should have, but nonetheless, it did take longer than expected to make, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you like this sort of video, make sure to leave a comment down in the below and see if you want me to review any of the other games that I've played, whether it's the hunting games on my main channel, or some of the secondary games I've played, like Monster Hunter Rise, Sons of the Forest before the 1.0, as well as Lethal Company. I will, if you guys like this, then maybe I'll make more reviews. They'll just take longer and I'll have more of a gap between videos. But we're gonna start off with Skull and Bones because this game has a lot of controversy to it. Or when it came out, it took a long time for it to come out for the first place. And when it did, there was a lot of controversy on whether it was good, whether it was worth the money, etc., etc., and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go into a review over the stuff that were important to me, and I have actually a list that I'll be reading off of as well, and then probably near the end, if I think of anything, I'll probably bring it up there. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to first talk about the story of the game. The basic of the story is you do missions for either Skurlock or Rama. You start off with Skurlock when you first get to St. Anne, because that's where your main goal is when you first start the game. When you first start the game, you're kind of thrown right into the battle, and it kind of shows you how to fight, all that stuff. You end up sinking, and you become a castaway on a small island that you then get a dinghy, a dhow, as they call it, and you sail your way to St. Anne. When you get to St. Anne, you then work for Skurlock and work your way up the Kingpin ladder. And it's not terrible. I enjoy the story and the way they have you progress. Pretty much the progression is you do missions for Skurlock to raise your level. And that's pretty much it for the most part for both Skurlock and Rama, is you're just doing missions for them. You're just listening to what they say, you're doing one mission, you're doing one thing, you're delivering, you're killing certain people, you're sinking certain people, you're setting up traps and stuff like that. So it is pretty simple, but still enjoyable. It's not like boring at all. It's still pretty enjoyable, and each kind of step is unique in a way. But Skurlock's story is, to me, better than Rama's story. I enjoyed Skurlock's story. It was fun, and the closest thing you could be to being a pirate, where you're actually going and raiding places, and you're fighting against Wrestler, his arch enemy-ish, or whatever he is for the British, I guess. Not the French, no, he's for the British. And he's pretty much trying to find Skurlock, as well as trying to end a war between the Sea People and the Fara. Skurlock's main goal is to keep that war going so he can keep making money, which I liked because it showed the kind of the darker side to, and kind of the greed to war, how you can have someone pretty much puppet show a war for their benefit, and that's literally what a pirate would do. Like the way, like some of the things he was saying is just, that's what a pirate would do. This is exactly what a pirate would do. And so it felt good. It felt good to play that part. You were playing the villain pretty much, in a sense of they're fighting and you're just there to make sure they stay fighting instead of having the British help one side or benefit from one side. You're stopping the British from helping them, and you're just keeping the war going so you can keep making money.
I say we entangle the French in their own rigging. Turn the fire on them before they come for us. Your devious mind is why I keep you around. But I'm way ahead of you, Cully. My agents will plant rumors of French treachery, and you, Cully, will play the villain. Plunder the Farah, and we'll blame it on the companion. You dress the part if you want. Karadec will be too busy quelling the Farah rebellion to come for us. Besides, turning Farah trade our way has always been the plan. Without French weaponry, they'll need us. This isle has earned its colour. Red in every river with that bloody show you put on. Few pirates have your resolve, Cully. Most go limp with shame when playing the villain. The way you stirred this piss pot to boiling, villain is in your blood.
So I did like that. It felt more like a pirate. You felt very piratey, and there were some things where you could have, like, I don't think you could have done anything, but there's times where Sherlock has mentioned that you could betray him at this point or not. I don't think you actually could, but he says it. And again, there's in that story, it seems like a pirate. You're playing like a pirate. Playing for yourself, you're playing for Sherlock so you can get yourself higher in the ladder, but you're mainly playing for yourself. You're mainly playing so you can get money, you can get what you want, and stuff like that. Once you finish that, and once you kill Wrestler for Sherlock, he sends you over to Rama, which then you're fighting the Dutch, I believe. And I really am not a super fan of Rama's story because her story is pretty much she's trying to stop the Dutch from colonizing her area and her culture and her place. But the male leaders that have been in charge were accepting the Dutch. We're perfectly fine with them coming in and doing the trading with the Dutch and all that stuff. While the Dutch were coming in, stealing the stuff from them, raiding them pretty much, and just kind of taking over. She didn't like that, which for good reason. Good reason to fight. And there's some plot twists and stuff like that, kind of. But the main thing that I did not like about Rama's side was the amount of male bashing that went on throughout the whole kind of story. Like, she did not like men because of what they're doing, and it just wasn't stopped. It would just repeat, be like, oh, men suck because all they do is want money and stuff like that. Oh, men suck because blah 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 blah. I, a woman, am so far superior because I am doing what I think is right, and I am helping my people versus them who are greedy because they're men. And I am perfectly fine with having a female pirate, but when they're male bashing, meanwhile having pretty much their big gun being a man, aka your character, so it could be a woman. I feel like it's just very, it's just not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable to be playing, whether you're as a guy, and it'll be honest, as a guy's perspective, because I'm a dude. It's not fun playing for someone who's just bashing a man as you're doing their dirty work, and they're like, oh yeah, men suck. Men don't do anything. You're doing everything for her, but she just says men suck, and men, it's very, just kind of, not disheartening, but it took you away from the story, and it took you away from being in a game, because it's just very, it's very out there, and it's very, strong opinionated, and it's just not a pirate. Not a pirate. It just doesn't seem like something a pirate would be doing. It doesn't seem like something a pirate would be complaining about. It just doesn't seem right. It just seems out of place, and it seems like it's forced. The forced kind of thing, the forced feminism that companies are doing right now. And I'll be probably pausing here and there to show you clips of this right here, right now. Show a clip of it right now.
I'm Admiral Rama, from the capital. Grew up with Sultana Hariati. Being part of the courts of Rempa, I learned one thing. When men from one empire build on the concessions of another, we get a doomed country. It's them on top. Men. Blocks of unchanging stone. If we let them, they'll sink us. Those men will say whatever they like to make women look weak and frail. They hate it when we're right.
Well, yeah, so it's just very, I would say demeaning. You know, like I understand a lot of women are like, oh, well, she's just a strong woman and you just don't like a strong woman. I don't care for a strong woman. Our first mate is a strong woman. The first person that helps us is a strong woman. And she has, like, she doesn't have a big part of the story, but she helps us and she's there with us throughout the whole thing. And it doesn't really matter. Like, that doesn't matter. There's a bunch of women in the game. Sure, they're not big parts of the game, but they're still there. And the main woman that you have is demeaning to men when you're playing as a man. Sucks. And, you know, just doesn't have much depth to it, I guess. Maybe I just read over it because I didn't enjoy playing as that. It just didn't feel as you were playing a pirate. Feel like you were playing a mercenary for someone who hates you, pretty much. And it just didn't feel like you were playing for yourself. You were playing for, because you didn't really get much from it, essentially. Like, it didn't, you know, it didn't feel like you were playing for much with it, besides rewards, and because why not, kind of thing. Versus being a pirate, versus for Skurlock, where you're playing it for it so you could climb the ladder, so you could be better, so you could be the level of Skurlock. It didn't really matter, because she was her own thing, and she wasn't part of the pirate game. Also doesn't help when you make her not like sailing. She says it. She says she doesn't like sailing. I'll put that here as well.
Don't tell anyone, but I fucking hate sailing.
And yeah, it doesn't help when you make a pirate game and you make one of the pirate lords or whatever you want to call her not like sailing. It's like, so not only do you not make me like her character because she just man bashes the entire time, you also not make me like her because she's not a real pirate and a pirate game. It's like, why am I playing this, you know? At least Skurlock, you don't see him fight, but he has his own ship. You see him, you know, he says that he's done fighting and stuff like that, and he at least knows what he's doing, and knows what he's doing is doing it for himself. Versus her, where she's trying to be some hero for her people and stuff like that. Which is, and again, her story I think is great. I think if they didn't man bash as much on, you know, I think it would have been a great story. I think I would have liked it more. I would have enjoyed it more. I would have been able to play it easier without feeling like it's not for me. And that was the main thing I did not like about her story. It just felt out of place. Felt forced. Felt very like, we're spreading this message kind of thing as something to do right now. But yeah, and it just felt disruptive. It just didn't really feel good. And so yeah, it was a little frustrating. But once you pass those two stories, because it's Skurlock and then Rama, once you pass the Rama story, you pretty much go into GTA Online drug dealing. It is my sense of it. You kind of are introduced to it when you're with Skurlock. It's the black market trading that you're doing, where you pretty much get supplies, aka sugar cane or some kind of berries. I can't remember. Then you use those supplies to create alcohol or drugs. Then you sell alcohol or drugs to people to make not, I think it's gold coins or something like that, to make a different currency. And that currency is what you use to buy black market stuff. And after you complete the main stories, that's pretty much all you do. They do have an event going on where you can get certain things and you can do certain things, but I'll talk about that later. But that's pretty much it once you're done with the stories, which is not bad. You know, it's kind of, again, it's like GTA Online or Red Dead Redemption Online. Is once you do the main story, once you do the main gist of things, that's pretty much all you're doing. You're grinding to make money. So it's not bad. I enjoy it. It's pretty fun to do. I like to do it, but it's very kind of branching off of Rockstar and those kind of ideas where it's you start a business, you use that business to make money, you then use that money to buy certain things that you can't buy with regular money, and so it's not too bad. I enjoy it. It's pretty fun, and it's pretty casual as well, where you're just sailing back and forth between areas and using fast travel, so it's not terrible. But yeah, so that's pretty much the story. Going into the gameplay, in my opinion, it is very basic in nature. You aim, you shoot, that's it. The shooting game. So you have to pay attention to like the speed of the ship to make sharp turns. But other than that, it's like aiming, shooting, you know, kind of like that. When it's combat. There is more depth to it because each weapon has its own effective range. It has its own kind of ability and stuff like that. But and for the most part, I haven't tried all the weapons, so I could be completely wrong. But I definitely have been liking the long range guns, so I think it's the long range. For me, I like the long range fire because it creates a fire effect as well. For the long range guns, as well as the mortar and the I can't remember what they're called, but the longer range weapons are definitely beneficial because you can just run away and shoot stuff from farther away from you. They can't reach you because for the most part the AI don't have those weapons. So you can just continuously run away and you'll still out-damage them for the most part. So I think they might be a little overpowered. They might change it in the future. They might not, but I like them. But yeah, it's very, very simplistic in gameplay. You're just going around using the WASD. I'm on a PC, so I'll be talking about the PC controllers. I don't know about the other system controllers. I think it's PlayStation. But anyway, you're going around, sailing around, using WASD. You manage your speed, and the lower the speed, the sharper your turn radius can be. You have to pay attention to the wind to see if it slows you down and if it pushes you in a certain direction. And then when you right-click, when you aim, you use it to aim and shoot cannonballs, or you can get closer and you can board people. Boarding isn't bad. It's alright. There are some flaws where you can shoot at the kind of boarding equipment and it goes right through the enemy ship, so you don't board and you have to just do it again. So a little flukes here and there, but nothing terrible. And it's not, I mean, it's beneficial, you get extra stuff from boarding, but at the same time, you don't necessarily need to do it. It is still pretty fun, though. I enjoy the gameplay, just going around sailing, similar to GTA or similar to Red Dead, where you're just going around doing what you want to do, killing whoever you want to kill and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. The trading aspect and making money aspect of it is also pretty simple. You pretty much, if you raid, or not raid, yeah, if you raid places, well, pause for a second. You can also raid places. It's not just boats. You can pillage and plunder certain ports, and that gives you extra stuff to either make a ship or just give you extra stuff, which is nice. You do have to stay in a certain area, which makes sense, and it's not too bad. Kind of slow, and you kind of have to like destroy a fleet, wait for another fleet to spawn, destroy that fleet, and it's repetitive and stuff like that. I think there's like 6 stages or something like that, and it's not bad. It's enjoyable, and that is the main kind of multiplayer aspect of the game. Is if it's a large fleet or it's a large area, you need more people because the fleets are bigger or they're just higher level than you, so you need those people. So that's fun. And then going back to kind of the currency and stuff like that, you pretty much, as you go around sinking ships, you get trade items, and with those trade items you can then trade it to different clans, and with those clans you can get either a flat price, or certain clans will pay more for it, or certain clans will pay less for it. So when I play, I always keep kind of the stuff with me and just go from place to place to see which one, where I can get the better deal from. It's nice, and I only had a little bit of a storage issue at the beginning. Once you get to like the third ship, I think you don't really have much of a storage issue, and even then, you don't have much of a storage issue overall. But yeah, it's pretty much it for the gameplay. When you're on land, there is some on land gameplay, but it's mainly just you running around and talking to people. There's no action when you're in person, when you're on the ground. You're just going around talking to a shop, talking to the blacksmith, talking to Skurlock, talking to Rama, getting food, stuff like that. There's not much interaction as the player. A lot of it is in the ships and when you're out at sea. So yeah, it's nice. I enjoy the gameplay. Though not the competitive part, but one issue that I did have continuously was going against higher ships was near impossible to do, or you just have to spend a lot of time, kind of. At least for me, since I had the longer weapons, just running away and shooting them and slowly pulling their health down. I don't know what was going on or what, but it definitely felt like the game had it to where you have to be the same level to do your full damage. They have to be the same level or lower for you to do your full damage. If they're higher, then you're just going to do less damage. I don't know if it's percentage or what, but it just felt like you were doing less damage, which is just not fun when you're doing that. It's not fun when you're, trying to outplay a high level ship and you just don't do anything. Or you go into something being like, they're one level a bit ahead of me. I could take care of them pretty well because I take care of my level pretty easily, and it's just you don't. And it's very frustrating. And the leveling system is, at least for your ship, is different than anything else, or than the other leveling system, like to become a kingpin. And it's based on your ship and what you have on your ship. So the higher grade weapons you have, the higher level your ship will be overall. Same with the armor, as well as the equipment that you can use on the ship. To me personally, the equipment is such a low percentage for the most part that it doesn't seem to affect a whole lot. I haven't gone around and tried each equipment, each part, but to me, it's just they're very low percentage. It's like 2% extra damage or 2% extra reload speed. And when the reload speed is 6 seconds, it's gonna be faster no matter what. But when you're in a game and in fighting, you don't, especially with this one, because it's not super fast paced. It's not terrible to be a little slower, or like half a second, not even half a second. It would be a quarter of a second or something like that. Be a quarter of a second faster, a quarter of a second slower. It doesn't seem to affect, but pretty much you use it so you can keep your ship up or raise your ship's level up. So not too bad. I enjoyed it overall, and yeah, that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. Is you do the story, and then after you do the story, you can do side missions. You can do things like that, and there are extra things that I haven't done yet. Like there's sea monsters that you can go for. I think there's a certain either 1 or 2 sea monsters that you can go for, and that gives you another currency, which is tooth, and that allows you to buy certain things. And then there's like ghost ships that you can go into, or certain, I guess, armadas or certain fleets of ships that you can go for to get better rewards. And there's a lot of side things that I haven't done, and there's a lot of side things to the game that you can still do to keep it interesting once you're done with the story, and you're not necessarily just going from place to place. That's just if you want to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time, is going from place to place to place to place and selling your stuff, buying, resupplying, stuff like that. Which isn't bad. Not terrible. I enjoy it. Overall, I like the game. However, I don't think it's worth $60, especially around this time when you're expecting, and it's a game that was planned or has been in the works for several years. It does not feel like a $60 game. This is my personal opinion, so anyone who has other objections are perfectly fine. I don't really, I care about your opinions, but at the same time, again, this is my personal opinion. You can be angry. Don't really care if you're angry. But it's not worth $60. Like, and here's why. Let's compare it to Red Dead Redemption 2. Obviously comparing it to a higher level game. Like, completely higher level, completely, like, it's on another level. Also worth $60. Red Dead Redemption 2, in its entirety, I think maybe adding online is a little more. But Red Dead Redemption 2 story, $60, and it is by far so much better than Skull and Bones. The story, there's more depth to the story. There's more stuff you can do within the game. There's just more things you can do with the game, and there's more. You get more bang from your buck. And the map is, I feel like it's bigger, but at the same time you're comparing a horse to a ship, so it's hard to compare that. Scenery looks better. Graphics look better in Red Dead. And Red Dead is just a better game. Overall, can't really, compare the two. And, I mean, you can compare the two, but it's just a better game overall. And it's worth the same amount of money. So that's why I say it's not worth $60. It's not worth how much you have to pay for it. Because there's games that are better that are that price. And then you get games that are cheaper. So, like Helldivers and Power World. Those are two games I've been playing recently. Those games, comparatively, are cheaper and are also either on the same scale, if not better. So Power World is $30, Helldivers 2, $40. And both those games are, in my opinion, better. There's more stuff for you to do. So Power World is similar to Ark, where you can, and Pokemon. It's Ark, Pokemon, and guns. And it is just more fun after you do finish grinding. There's not much for you to do, so there is that. But it's more fun. There is online. There's a lot of things that you can do, and there's a lot. It takes you a long time to finish the story. And in my opinion, I just enjoy Power World more. Helldivers 2, likewise, they've been releasing an update pretty frequently, and there's always something new for you to do. There's always quests, well, not quests, but there's always commands and stuff like that. And you're going into a planet that's different each time, in a sense that it's different layout, different bugs, different amount of bugs, and stuff like that. So it just has more to it for being a cheaper game, which is why I don't think it's worth $60. Now, I'm not saying it is a terrible game. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy it. If you have extra money and you really want to play it, then I feel like you should play it. I feel like a lot of the negative reviews that are like severely negative kind of are overkill. But it's because those reviews were expecting so much from it, because it's been a thought for so long, and I can understand it. It's been in the process for so long, and you get this, and it's kind of a disappointment. I can understand it. But if you don't take that into aspect, and you're just looking for a game that'll be fun, that'll be entertaining, that you can play with your friends, it's a good game for that. And it definitely isn't like some of the other Ubisoft games where there's a lot of paywalls, where you have to buy a lot of stuff. I haven't put any extra money into the game, and I'm definitely pretty high up there in the rankings. Now, obviously, you can use your money, and you can get higher up faster, or you can kind of get certain cosmetics and stuff like that. But you don't need the cosmetics. Cosmetics aren't really super crazy. But it's still enjoyable. I enjoy it. I have fun playing the game. It's not like it's other Ubisoft games, but it is there's not as much you have to pay for to get. It's a lot of cosmetics that you're paying for. So I enjoy it. It's not terrible. I enjoy the game. It's a very casual and somewhat relaxing game to me. Of course, there are obviously times where you get upset, but to me, it's very casual. It's very relaxing, and you do just have a lot of fun playing the game as is, as a pirate game, where you just sail around and do whatever you want. It is very similar to GTA and Red Dead Redemption. Once you finish the stories, it's you can just the world is your oyster, and you can just do whatever you want, pretty much whenever. And it is still enjoyable, still fun, and I'll probably be playing there off and on and stuff like that. And who knows, I might do more videos on it depending on what they release for it. But yeah, if you guys like to see more videos of it, let me know. If you guys like to see more videos similar to this where I am reviewing a game and giving my honest opinion on it as someone who is not a game maker, someone who just plays games for fun. Don't do it for a living yet, but if you guys want to see more reviews, let me know, and I can give out some more reviews as well. If you want to see me play a certain game or something like that, just let me know, and I will see if I can either buy the game or what. If I don't already have the game, I will be redoing a new series as well coming up, since I am done with Skull and Bones pretty much, and all I have is Lethal Company. And Lethal Company will probably be coming to an end, as well as I'm not playing it as much, and it kind of is repetitive, especially after 50 episodes, which is crazy to me. I almost have 50 episodes. Not sure what I'll be playing, but I got a couple things that I can play, a couple old games I can bring back, and yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes and what all I want to play. If you guys have any opinions or anything you want to see, let me know in the comment section down below. But thank you guys so much for listening to me talk for half an hour, pretty much, give or take. And yeah, if you guys have anything that you want to see, let me know in the comment section below. Anything you think I should do, let me know. Let me know if you play the game, how you feel about the game, or even if you just watch reviews. Let me know how you feel about it, and stuff like that. I don't think it's worth the full price. If it's on sale, I would definitely get it. And yeah, let me know down in the comment section pretty much what you guys feel about it and what you guys feel about these sort of videos. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Good times.